the Silver Screen Cynics. Welcome back to the show. We're back from vacation. Hello, this is Jared.
And I'm Michael.
And I'm Ian.
Hooray! It's good to be back from our little week off. Yeah, our little fiesta. Yeah, we're back, and this episode is all about the 90s. What exactly are we going to be talking about, fellers?
Well, what we're talking about are super 90s movies that are so 90s that they kind of overshadow everything else about the movie. For example, what you won't find on this list are movies like Home Alone, Goodfellas, Jurassic Park, Gladiator, which that's actually 2000.
Fight Club.
Saving Private Ryan. Movies that are obviously period pieces or that are so good, like you're obviously more focused on the plot and everything than like, hey, it's the 90s. So, an example of something that we're not going to talk about that's an example would be the movie Hackers. Hackers is really kind of interesting because it's like about hackers, and it was made in 1995, so the internet's really old and it's just kind of really cheesy. So I mean, that's what I mean. It's like you watch it, you might have loved it at the time, but you watch it now and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm embarrassed about this being so like 90s and like, oh look, what will the future hold? It's so they don't have to be horrible. Some are really bad, but mostly it's kind of like roll your eyes and kind of laugh like how cheesy it was.
Just roll your eyes and say, hey, it's the 90s.
You're like, right. As if.
Hey, man, eat my shorts.
Don't
have a cow, man.
What was up with the that quote though? It's the 90s. It was like your excuse for anything to get.
Yeah, no, it's like, and it's the 90s, People are using the World Wide Web all the time.
Yeah. I think that was mostly in television and in the shows. It seemed like almost every show in the 90s had to say that at some point. Like I don't understand these kids. Well, hey, it's the 90s.
Yeah. I think that was completely a product of the 90s too. It wasn't like people were like, hey, it's the 50s. Everybody's getting milk delivered to their door, Nobody said it's the 50s. Like, only movies that were made in the 90s say it's the 50s. Hey, it's the 20s. Women can vote.
Oh man.
Anyway.
All right. Yeah, this is going to be fun because we're all born in the 80s, so 90s we kind of our formative years were in the 90s, so a lot of these movies that we watched, they were probably really good to us at the time because we didn't know anything when we were in the 90s. So we grew up and reflecting on these movies, they're really not that great.
Yeah. I loved like every one of them at the time.
Oh, right. Yeah. And in fact, some of these I might still enjoy. I just haven't watched them since, and I can just imagine how cringeworthy they are now.
Mm-hmm.
So, without further ado, let's get to the list. I think I'll start us off this time.
Okay.
Cool. All right. First off, I'm just gonna get this one out of the way. I chose The Net with Sandra Bullock.
Oh my god!
And I really wanted to choose this one. Michael found it, and I had to steal it because when you think of the 90s, it's like the big internet boom. The internet just started out in the mid-90s. So, of course, everyone's like, oh, we got to make these movies because this is relevant. And The Net, it was kind of like what Outbreak did for people that might be fearful of outbreaks, like, oh my gosh, it caused like paranoia and like, oh, germs. The Net kind of did that with the internet, where people are starting to see the negative potential of the internet. Like, what can but they did it so crappily, like looking back on it. And basically Sandra Bullock I forgot what her job was, but she worked with computers. Do you remember, Mike?
Yeah, she was a computer programmer.
Okay, she's a programmer, and she's like has like this circle of programmer friends, One thing that always stood out to me is their chat room. I've never seen a chat room anything remotely like that. And everyone has like these cool avatars and stuff, and
Yeah, it's a full crap.
yeah, and here we are like an AOL chat room where it's just so basic and crappy, and that's one thing that always bugs me in movies is when they make up their own chat rooms. And
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah.
You can't afford to get the AOL chat.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to
Yeah,
pay
like
$1 million. So
like that movie First Kid when the kid was using snake chat.
oh my gosh, I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So the net. Everyone after seeing the net, they're like, "Oh, so is someone going to be hacking me? I don't want my computer to get hacked." But all in all, I mean, if you look back on it, it's just laughable because the technology is so basic and so lame. And it's been a while since I've watched it, but now that we've progressed so far and the internet is so commonplace, looking back at that, it's just going to be like so foreign how it's handled.
Yeah.
oh man, yeah, I remember. I was just reading the description because it's been so long since I've seen it. But it says that apparently she got this mysterious disc.
Oh yeah,
And then,
it
like,
had
this-
the Mozart's
Mhm.
ghost on it.
Yeah, and it's like, first of all, that's not the internet. If it's coming on, a disc, this is the opposite of the
They should
internet.
call it the disc.
Yeah, but I guess you needed that just like you needed a AOL install disc that they would throw for free at everywhere you went.
Yeah.
My favorite sort of visual thing, well, two of them. One of them, like what she figured out the secret thing that was this tiny, ugly icon or like weird caricature glyph in the corner of the screen. She would click it and like all these secret documents would flash up. It was just like,
Yeah.
That's exactly how it works.
That's not how. Yeah. What? Oh,
Well,
and then,
you didn't know that hackers, when they hack stuff, the screen is covered with a thing that says "Now hacking." That's how it works.
And there's the button. There's a button in the corner that says "Do not hack here."
Yeah.
ew, there's just like a little like twirly mystery portal that you're not supposed to click, and you do it. No, man.
Oh my gosh! Didn't someone like hack people's planes and make their planes crash and stuff? And that
I want to say there was talk of it. I don't think because the movie was like.
I remember her friend died. She had a friend who was helping her out.
Was it Dennis Miller?
Was it? Maybe.
Bonus 90's bonus points for having Dennis Miller.
Yeah, and I think one of her friends was like helping her solve the Mozart's ghost riddle or whatever, and then he mysteriously, I think like his instruments were hacked or something. I don't remember, but and then he like crashes. And I remember he crashed in like a windmill farm or something like that.
Yeah. Or the plane was flying too low.
Yeah.
It see the towers or they were something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie was like super like, oh, this is a thriller. Ooh, and it was really not.
Yeah, it was like computer thriller, and then I think by the end she was like, it turned into like she was like on an island with some handsome guy who's like trying to find the disc or something, and then it became a whole different type of thriller.
Yeah, that was weird. And it was funny. Bonus points too for one of my second favorite visual thing is when in the beginning of the movie when she's like first popping in Mozart's ghost disc and like she's got her like computer she's working on, and then like near her desk or like on the other side is another huge fat like old monitor that has the fireplace screensaver on it.
Oh my gosh.
Like, oh,
Yeah.
she's relaxing as she works on interwebs.
Oh my
Look at
gosh. I remember when that was a thing.
Oh man, I wish it was a little more honest and had the flying toasters or the
Yeah.
Yeah,
or the
they couldn't
pipes.
afford them.
Yeah, copyright.
And the weird trapezoids.
Oh yeah.
the yeah, 3D trapezoids flying,
Yeah.
bouncing around. You couldn't get
Yeah.
that.
My screensaver was always the scrolling text. I always like to write funny stuff,
Oh.
or the text that you get like the 3D text that would bounce around.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I got a glyph. I remember this might have been college, which is kind of sad that it was that late. But I got a glyph or a wingbat of a skull and crossbones, and I did the 3D like chrome metallic one. So it was like this skull and crossbones just like flying around. So
Hey, it was the 90s,
yeah, or
Yeah.
except for you.
early mid
Yeah.
2000 aughts.
At the end of the 90s, we all got the Matrix screensaver. I feel like everyone had that at some
Oh,
point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Trickle down green text.
The trickle down
Yeah.
text. Ooh.
Oh goodness. So that's my first pick.
Whoa, that's a good one.
Good one, yeah. I like it. All right, I can go next. So, my first pick, I'm going to go with Airborne.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So, Airborne, in case anyone doesn't remember, was an extremely low budget movie. It was made for 2.6 million. I just looked on the internet and saw. So, very, very low budget. But anyway, this movie stars Shane McDermott, who nobody knows anymore, and Seth Green. And
Oh man, Seth Green in the
yeah,
early. That might have been the first movie I saw Seth Green in.
I think it was for me too. Yeah. Going forward, I'll call them by their characters. So Shane McDermott is Mitchell, and Seth Green is Wiley, who's the cousin. So Mitchell is like this surfer dude from California, and he's really cool guy. And then his parents have to go away for a few months, so he has to live in Ohio with his nerdy cousin Wiley, who is Seth Green, who has extremely long red hair and is trying way too hard to be cool.
Oh
And he quickly finds out that it's basically it's like the jocks versus the the nerds and everything. But the only way he's able to connect is since he's good at rollerblading, he gets into ice hockey, and then anyway, it's a terrible movie, but it finally culminates with a very long. It was like a 20-minute long rollerblade race.
yeah. Oh, it's so awesome.
It was so cool, and like even though I know kind of like the net they were trying to capitalize on, oh, this is a cool thing from the 90s, rollerblades now. It's actually a really cool scene. Like they're going over hills, they're going under bridges, they're going all kinds of different places. It's actually really exciting ending of the movie, even though the rest of it's kind of terrible. But throughout the whole movie, there's just infinity, examples of 90s fashion. Like all the girls are wearing really baggy, flannel and plaid and stuff, and like the guys have jackets with too many zippers on them, and like, and just the rollerblading aspect. And also, this is one of Jack Black's first movies ever.
Whoa.
Yes.
So
He
that was
one-
kind of. Yeah, all he ever talked about was liking Nintendo, and yeah.
Yeah, he was one of the mean guys too. He was like really intimidating and like, you look out, man. It was back before Jack Black was doing comedic stuff.
Right. Yeah. So it was very much a bit part. Like he didn't have very many speaking lines in it, but when you watch it, it's like, holy crap, that's Jack Black, and he's like a really really young dude, like in his early 20s or in his early 20s. So it's really cool to see that. But even though the movie and the plot is awful, the 20-minute rollerblading scene at the end is actually kind of sweet.
It's actually where they're like people like going off the road and like crashing into cars. It's like that person should be dead.
Yeah, it's like roller derby in the street, basically. Like they're knocking each other. Like this one guy fell off a very short you know, it was more of a hill, but it looked like a short cliff. He just disappeared. It was like, what the crap? Like,
There was one guy that slid underneath like a slow driving approaching car.
yeah,
I was like,
like,
definitely dead, definitely concussion.
like it was savage, man.
You know,
Yeah.
I've never saw this, but from your guys' description, it sounds a lot like the '90s version of the '80s film Rad.
Yes, it totally was. Yeah, it was rad on rollerblades. It was rad 1990s-ified. It's exactly. I was thinking about that earlier.
Because I mean, the
Rad.
Rad.
That's a first.
Gosh, I love Rad. Rad ended with that like half-hour long dirt bike race, and that was like the best thing ever as a kid. So yeah, I kind of want to see Airborne now, just for the finale.
Yeah. Do a back-to-back Rad and Airborne. That sounds like the
dude.
best Saturday morning ever.
Yes.
Oh, I'm so there. I'm sending you guys a picture real quick of what, because I was looking it up, and this is what popped up.
Oh, wow.
Airborne, starring Steve Guttenberg, Sean Bean. Pray it doesn't land.
Wow, that's a different kind of movie, but I totally want to see it.
When did Steve Guttenberg become a serious actor? Oh man.
Oh man. All right, moving on. I'm up next. My first pick of movie is another A movie. Another Air movie, but this movie is none other than. Hold on a second. No, I messed up.
The anticipation's killing me.
Do you have
All right.
enough air to say it? Oh.
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 The next movie is Airheads.
What?
Wow.
Yes.
The Lone Rangers.
We're the Lone Rangers. Why are you going? It's like, why are you called that? That's dumb. It's like, so you're not exactly lone.
Yeah.
Yeah, this movie I feel like is a love-hate relationship. Most of the hate is that it's the main character is Brendan Fraser, and probably one of the best. What, did I mess his name up?
No. I'm just thinking about it.
Oh, yeah. Like, it's got Steve Buscemi. It was his first big role where people was like, "Oh, that guy with the googly eyes, he's terrifying looking." And then probably the funniest Adam Sandler movie ever, probably, because he just nails the role like perfectly.
I'm just thinking about Steve Buscemi trying to play a young man. He looks like he's like in his mid-40s. It's like that.
Yeah.
That movie. What was the movie he was in where he's like goes to high school with a skateboard? And he's like, "How do you do, fellow kids?"
I don't know. I want to find out. That's awesome. But
Sorry.
the movie is super, like, it's about this, if you haven't seen it or heard of it, it's about this struggling band they're trying to get their music played on this radio station to get a record deal, and they end up holding everybody hostage with fake guns. But it's just so like they're so like early 90s like hair metal, not like late post hair metal, not permed out, but just before grunge. So they were just like, "Ugh, grunge is stupid. I want Guns N' Roses,"
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so like, because of the music scene in it, it is just ridiculously like, you feel the 90s, and that's sort of like when people just Brendan Fraser brings the 90s home in that, and he's like, I don't think this will be the first time. This won't be the last time he's on our list. Let's just put it that way. And it's just kind of ridiculous in some senses, and it's very 90s opposite, because this was when Adam Sandler was still like really funny, or back when he was. Do you know how old it is? Like, so that's it. That's not much I can really say else about it. It's just Brendan Fraser just brings it home.
I actually watched this movie a lot. I don't know what it is about it, but It's one of those movies that I can always pop on, kind of like Tommy Boy, where I'm always into it.
Sure.
And I own it, so I'd always pop on the DVD and just like fall asleep to it or something, just because I don't know why. I just think it's such a fun movie. You know, it's got Chris Farley and one of my favorite cameos as a police officer.
Yes, forgot Chris Farley had a small role in it. That was awesome. Yeah, it just another really 90s moment in it. And when they were at the radio station, like you hear the voices of Beavis and Butthead call in.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That 90ifies it right there.
Yeah, it was just like his shirt says music band.
I found the picture. I found it. It's from 30 Rock.
Oh, that makes a little more sense.
Yeah. So, how do you do, fellow kids?
I want that shirt.
Yeah.
Music band with the AC/DC lightning bolt through it.
I'm sure Think Geek sells them.
Yeah.
So I love that movie, and it's got Rob Zombie in it, doesn't it? Or White Zombie? Or
Yeah, White Zombie's playing in it too. That's when Chris Farley gets his badge ripped off by some like metal thug,
and he rips his nipple ring
and then he rips his nipple ring out.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. Oh man, it's another classic. That's just like, oh man, you can feel how old the movie is.
And that's another case of movies that it probably hasn't aged very well, but it's still just a fun, good movie.
Right. Yeah, not all the
got,
movies on our list are awful.
It's got Kramer in it too. I forgot about that too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of like interesting small roles.
Mm-hmm. And Joe Montana before he played for the Niners.
Really?
No, Joe Montana.
Oh. Oh man.
Good old Joe Montana joke.
What was that? Oh, it had the guy from the Breakfast Club in it.
Oh yeah, he was
Judd Nelson?
Yeah.
Yeah. That
he was the record producer guy, wasn't he, that tried to get him out to come out?
Yeah, he was one of them. He was like, yeah, he was just like that. You guys are super talented, I can tell. You didn't even listen to the tape.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, that had a lot of talent in there.
Yeah, a lot of small, and there was a couple cameos too. Yeah.
Well done.
Moving on.
My next pick is As If It's Clueless.
Oh my god.
Like, oh my gosh.
Gag me with a spin. There's that.
What's your damage, Heather?
Clueless. This is probably the most pop culture 90s movie I could think of. I mean, it was this is also a guilty pleasure movie of mine. I still enjoy it.
Yeah, it's one of my wife's favorite movies.
Uh-huh.
Like when I told her that we were like some of the movies we were going to talk about tonight, she's like Clueless is one of the best movies.
Yeah. And it has all the fashion, except it had fashion that I had never seen before because I don't know very many rich kids. So they like the rich kid style was like just very bright and just lots of layers, and you had like the skater kids in there, their sweaters around their waist and stuff, and just your typical 90s fashion. And I think this movie's goal was to try and get as many new quotes merged in with common language as possible, because like everyone, I mean, this was like Juno times 10 back in the day, where it was like
it was the predecessor to Mean Girls.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah, literally like 9 or 10 years later, Mean Girls came out, and it was like the same. Like, I shouldn't like this, but it's actually pretty good. And R.I.P. Brittany Murphy.
Oh yeah, first movie I saw her in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a virgin, and you can't drive. Burn.
It had Paul Rudd.
Yes, I was just gonna say that.
It was one of his first movies I ever saw. I'm sure he's worked a lot in film before that, but he was totally not funny, straight laced, just like I'm just the average guy.
Yeah, he was the straight lace. He wasn't funny at all, and that movie was so long ago. And he looked almost the exact same as he looks now.
I know.
He's like immortal.
Yep.
Yeah, it was just like, what?
Yeah, Paul Rudd has aged pretty well.
Yeah, he looks pretty much the same as he's always looked.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones
Oh,
ska show.
my goodness. Wow. Complete with their little dancing guy.
Yeah, it's like, do something. Get a job. Your job isn't to dance. Play a freaking instrument.
But, I mean, if that was... My friends were, like, talented musicians and everything. I couldn't do anything. I'd be so stoked that they let me up on stage. Like, I'm in the band, guys!
It's a good point. It's like, you're just supposed to have fun and pump up the crowd, man.
I'm the dancer.
You're kind of like the bar mitzvah DJ. Supposed to get everybody on the dance floor. Yeah. And, of course, Alicia Silverstone.
And in her prime.
In her prime, she was my first like big celebrity crush. Like, so I was like, oh, Lucy Silverstone from all the Aerosmith. Also,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
woo.
Yeah, she was the it girl at the time.
Oh yeah,
and she didn't. I don't remember her lasting much longer than that.
No.
Yeah,
she's done a little bit. But now she's just kind of a little bit of a crazy mom. That's her job.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, she's been like, she like said in an article or something, and there's also been like video of her like chewing up her child's food and feeding.
Are you kidding?
Yeah, she feeds her kids like birds.
Yeah.
Wow.
Super weird.
Yeah, so.
Oh
wow!
Well done, Hollywood. You ruined another one.
Yeah.
Well,
she could always have her own. She could always have her own show on the Food Network, like one of those girls from Sister Sister. So that's an option.
Oh, she was. Yeah, you asked what happened to her. She played Batgirl in Batman and Robin.
Yeah, also ruined Chris O'Donnell's career.
Yes.
Somehow George Clooney became better after that.
Yeah.
I guess once you've done bat nipples, you can't get any lower. So he's like, to the top from here.
Yeah, I don't know how he recovered from that, honestly. And even Sylvester, I almost said Sylvester Stallone. Even Arnold Schwarzenegger. Maybe because he was just so established that he was just like...
Yeah.
He's just like, whatever. Can you believe Mr. Freeze from Batman and Robin was the governor of a state?
I know.
My state.
Your state, yeah.
I'll be honest. I voted for him.
Well, when else are you gonna get to? So
yeah,
it was just too cool to say. I voted for Arnie.
Never honored. Hashtag. No, I'm just kidding. Everybody, chill. Ice.
Let's put you on the ice.
Yeah.
Always winterize your pipes.
Yeah.
All right, so my next pick is Surf Ninjas.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Man, I remember as a kid, I was so looking forward to this movie. Like, even though right now, like, if you look at it, you can tell it's just awful. But as a kid, like, all the commercials, I was, like, so psyched to see this movie. But it's such a horrible, even by 90s standards, it was horrible. Long story short, if you had never seen it, it's about these three kids who are kind of these surfer dudes, and they're minding their own business, and all of a sudden ninjas attack them, and then they realize that they have to go to they have like some kingdom that they are descendants of, and they need to go defend it. And so they all go and like randomly one of the kids has a Sega Game Gear, and he's able to see. He can look at the screen, and it'll show him what's going on elsewhere, and he can control stuff that's happening with the Game Gear. And it's like, what the crap? And like, the plot was so thin. I really don't remember much of what happened, other than Rob Schneider was kind of like playing their like a babysitter role for them, and he was really annoying. It was like not a funny Rob Schneider role, which I know is not that uncommon, but
You mean every role, Ian?
exactly. And then and Leslie Nielsen was in it too as like the evil general or whatever, but he wasn't funny in that either.
Wasn't he like a samurai and with like a metal hand or something?
Yeah, like a full samurai gear. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, couldn't cast. They're like, well, we can do somebody Asian, or we could do Leslie Nielsen, who's funny.
Oh, and they had Keanu from Ninja Turtles 2.
Oh yeah, he was the main character.
That was why I wanted to see it, because I love Ninja Turtles 2 so much. It's like Keanu's in it.
Yeah, I mean, even though he totally looked like not a teenager anymore. He looked like a man by this point, so it was kind of weird that he was playing a teenager, but whatever. It's the 90s, man. It's the 90s.
Yeah, that's a good excuse.
Did it end with a really like awful like Beach Boys song like
yeah.
Oh,
that did. It was so cheesy, man.
Yeah, and they were all in like very specific, like traditional Asian garb. It was just like, this is offensive.
Wow.
Yeah,
and
but
I bought the Game Gear game because of this Surf Ninja.
Oh, was it any good?
It was nothing. I was expecting it to be somewhat like the game that he was playing to some degree. I know I can't play a game where I control people, but it was so dumb. I was so mad because I love the Game Gear. That was like one of my favorite handhelds ever. Mm-hmm. And yeah, I was so disappointed because that's a big selling point. They're like, oh, we've got a Game Gear in here and we've got a game,
right?
And at least try to make it somewhat close to that. I don't know. That was so stupid. But I think this. I don't think anything can compare. I think this movie wins for the most '90s movie that is the most unwatchable now.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at what they're wearing. They're wearing like MC Hammer pants and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Which you'll catch later in the episode too, as we talk about someone. The '90s, especially the early '90s, were so enthralled with the '60s, like. And especially the hippie movement. Oh my gosh, I remember that too. Like how my sister loved bell bottoms for a while, and it was just like, really? I mean, just like everybody's obsessed with the '80s now.
Yeah,
sure.
Which I never wished that upon any culture.
No.
And now we're experiencing it.
Or now it's the '90s, technically. All the millennials are like, cool, it's bright and tacky, and there's shoulder pads. Love it.
Yeah, and Crystal Pepsi is back for a few weeks.
Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, no kidding. But yeah, so yeah, I just checked. Surf Ninjas ended the movie by everybody singing Barbara Ann by the Beach Boys.
Oh yeah.
You're like, oh my god, why are they doing that song? Why is this happening?
Yeah.
I
just checked. It has a 12% on Rotten Tomatoes. There you go.
That's better than Fantastic Four.
That's true.
Wow.
That's really sad. Fantastic Four got a lower score than Surf Ninjas. Critics rather watch 12%. No, that would be 88% of critics would rather watch Surf Ninjas than Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Why would you pick the goofiest old white guy to be your villain that's supposed to be menacing?
Yeah. They didn't learn their lesson when they casted John Wayne as Genghis Khan.
Right.
Oh man, at least they didn't try Yellowface on Leslie Nielsen.
Oh yeah, that would have been way worse.
Yeah, if they were gonna go for silly, why not Rowan Atkinson? Just go the whole way.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go full bean.
full bean. You never go full bean.
Oh man, I so want to watch that now. Just thinking about it, I'm gonna be cringing the entire way through. I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
All right. Cool.
All right. So the next movie on my list is the coolest, hippest movie of the mid-90s, Empire Records.
All
Mhm.
right.
Gosh, this movie is like the quintessential teenage favorite movie of the 90s, and mainly because it has Liv Tyler. She took a note from Alicia Silverstone on the set of one of their Aerosmith music videos, and she's like, "I want to be in movies too," you know. And also Renee's really young, like unrecognizably young. Renee Zellweger's in it. The movie is basically about this record store that's going out of business and being bought by the big record store company. CDs, not real records, CDs. And it's about like the cool staff who just likes to hang out and listen to cool current top 40 music and dance on the counter just randomly, and it's just ridiculous movie. I mean, this movie is pretty much like, this was the archetype for this topic tonight for me, just because it was when I was young and I saw it, I was like, wow, this movie's so cool. I want to be just like them, and I'll cast all my friends as, superlatives, like which Empire Records character would you be?
Yeah.
Just like, it was so cool. And then my wife and I watched it just like last year or so, and we were just like, oh wow, this movie is really bad. Like,
Yeah.
it was just so corny, and just it wasn't that good. It was like completely blinded by like it being cool and hip.
Mm-hmm.
So,
it's one of those
like-
that it was so 90s to its detriment now, stuff like that, it's dated, you can't watch it, and people that try to watch it now, they're not going to understand most of the references, and they're not going to care about the music like everyone did, because it's not in its prime, not in its heyday. When you put all your eggs in the pop culture basket, its relevance is going to be very short-lived.
definitely, it felt so forced when I saw it last.
Yeah.
It was just really kind of stupid in the sense that it was just like the typical, like, they're gonna shut us down, so we're gonna have the biggest party ever before we go.
What?
Which is like half the 90s movies anyway.
Yeah.
PCU, anybody remember that movie? That's another great one. Bonus.
There you go. That's for next round.
Yeah, next round. There's so many good movies to get about. So yeah, it's not that I would not recommend it. I wouldn't necessarily endorse it either, but if you're curious about mid-90s teenage culture, it's a good place to start.
Yeah.
Yep.
That and that My So-Called Life, which is
And Daria.
in Daria.
Saved by the Bell.
Pretty much all of MTV in the 90s, early 90s.
Yes.
Yep.
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, the grind.
Oh, man.
Anyway.
All right, that's it for the first half of this episode. We're going to continue next week with a special subject matter that we find very funny, so hopefully you'll catch us next week to finish this off. Thank you for listening, and have a good week.